let's just jump right into this thing, man. So for all of you guys that are on here, this is my longtime brethren,
Yeah.
Mr. Nicholas Crenshaw, aka Big Nick.
What it do?
You know? And this week we are continuing a series that I started called Who Am I Becoming? So the same week that George Floyd was murdered, I released a single called Becoming, and it was celebratory, and it was just talking about celebrating the small victories, you know, on your journey to becoming great, on your journey to transitioning. Nick, you know about that life, you know.
Oh yeah.
And after what happened to George happened, I just was like, everything was on pause for me, you know, and it was like, I don't care about music. I don't care about anything other than how do we figure out how to stop killing unarmed black men and women, you know? And the question, you know, I feel like the Lord just dropped it on me. It was like, hey, in the interim of all of this, who are you becoming? Who are your people becoming?
Right.
What's going on with us psychologically, mentally, emotionally? And I didn't really see in my, you know, intermediate circle or influence of people that I follow really asking that direct question. So I was like, hey, if there's a need, let's meet it. So I just created a space where, you know, we as a people can come and process and just think about and talk about all the things going on. Because I know for me, there's healing in other people putting the words how I feel. Because I may not be able to articulate it, you know what I'm saying? And so for all of you guys joining in, last week we focused on the women. We had several conversations, and we invited a counselor. Shout out to Dula Prevalon. She dropped some knowledge last week. And so this week, I just want to start off with my bros, the home team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know y'all going to give me that real talk.
That's all I got to give.
You know, you ain't going to be play with it. And you know, I really just wanted to create a space for those of you guys that are watching. Feel free to chime in. Like I said last week, this is a space of love and respect, so skip the slick talk. This ain't the time for that. This is a place of love. So, and I got my bros on here, so they'll pull up on you. So watch yourself. All right, so what I'm going to do is just ask you some questions, Nick. If you answer them how you feel, keep it 100, and, you know, everybody can just chime in, ask questions as you guys feel led to. So the first one here is, how have the recent events affected you, like mentally, emotionally, all that stuff?
So many angles.
It's a loaded question, right?
Right? There's so many angles for me because not only am I a black man, and you might be able to hear them in the background.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
do your thing.
In the background. So you might hear me check them in the background, too.
Yeah. Hey, get on the
One of the big things for me is not only being a black man in this climate and dealing with how it weighs on me just as a person. And I'm a person that believes in love. Like I believe in others, I believe in respecting others, I believe in engaging others with respect and with love. So I love, but at the same time, I'm also a father.
Yeah.
I stand from the perspective of, I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. And a single father at that.
Yeah.
It weighs on me really, really heavy. It weighs because not only do I have to process things for myself, I have to communicate how they can effectively process things for themselves without distancing themselves from their peers, which come from different backgrounds. The school that they go to, Montessori Academy here in Dallas, and they have people of all races, all backgrounds, all, you know, from different financial structures and everything else, and they all come together. So they don't understand it all that well. They understand it from the context in which I give it to them.
Sure. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. You froze on me for a second. There we go.
Get understanding based off of the context in which I give it. So how I respond, how they will respond.
Hey Nick, I couldn't hear you for a second there, bro.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you back now. Yeah, I hear you now.
Make sure I'm holding this phone the right way too. I don't want to think you about the mic. But just making sure that they understand what things look like, because I don't want them to stop loving others because
Sure.
a lot of pain,
Yeah.
a lot of frustration acted out,
Mhm.
a lot of people portraying our community in a specific way through media
Sure.
that is interesting all in itself. But how they take in the world is, and certainly in this season because they're young, is based off of the lenses that I give them.
Hmm.
They don't get to pick up lenses for themselves until they hit around their teenage years.
Wow.
They only get it through the lenses that I give them, and it'll help shape what they'll see later on in life. So
Bro, that's dope. That's dope that you're taking that hands-on of an approach with just how your kid's mental is being shaped.
yeah, but it's heavy,
Hmm.
so heavy. And I think that me and the bros was talking about that. Probably we talked about it over the last week or two. It's just, and I think we take turns of when it's heavy for us,
Wow.
because I might be okay and I can be uplifting one day, and
Yeah.
next day somebody can say something a little too slick for me, because it's I have to frame things well.
Yeah.
Find that of me, so I have to frame things like there are a lot of people that are just ignorant,
Mhm.
and that's just it. And
Mhm.
ignorance is only a bad thing if you continue in it. So
True.
I if I can impart wisdom or point you in the right direction, I rather that. Point you
Mhm.
in the direction where you can gain your own wisdom, because I don't want to spoon feed you for nothing.
Yeah.
To be able to process things for yourself and teach yourself how to engage independent of me. Like you
Yeah.
and walk. Now I don't mind helping, but it's just kind of like my kids. I saw you once or twice. We ain't do this.
That third time.
Right? And we have seen this play out so much in America within the last 4 years of how
Mhm.
do I have to coddle you?
Absolutely.
Do I have to hold your hand? Like,
Absolutely.
and I understand, because you have to filter that through everybody's emotions. But
Right.
people are not going to be able to articulate their emotions maybe like I can.
Sure.
The rawness in that,
Yeah.
people that are snappy, and you're going to see, but it's amazing how you can figure that out as a
Mhm.
household, your personal community, the people
Yeah.
you engage on a regular basis. I need you to apply that same sensibility to your community that doesn't look like you.
Yeah. Facts. And I think it's so dope just to hear that you have, a sense of community, a brotherhood that you can be vulnerable with, that you can be upset with, that you
Yeah,
can fuss and cuss and be
right.
honest about how you feel, and they will hold your arms up when you're having those weak moments. I think that's pivotal, especially for our men, because I think women by nature, we kind of communal already for the
Yeah,
most part, but to hear, that's something that you guys are operating in, I think is key for black men, especially when
right.
moments like these happen. Yeah, TSSG Consulting Brotherhood.
That's it. And if you don't,
That's the new wealth, right? Like,
yeah. And you know me, and mine been running together
yeah.
10 for like
Mhm.
we've been together for a long time, and it's not a big circle. I have a big brotherhood circle, but
Sure.
my immediate community is pretty tight, and
Mhm.
that allows me to be extremely transparent, and that allows them to do the same.
That's so dope, man.
We know each other's heart.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain your heart towards something to somebody that knows you.
Right.
Like, you can have those vulnerable moments, and we can just let's move past that, and then I can honestly check you. Hey,
Yeah, man, I was just about to say,
hey,
like, it's something beautiful about somebody being able to know you fully, flaws and all, and say, hey, nah.
Nah.
you're tripping. And
Yeah.
you're not offended because you know they love you. You
Yeah.
know they're coming from a place of love and that they want to see you win and be better, right? Like,
Right.
man.
Right. And so, and I think in this season, certainly the last 2 days, 2 or 3, been kind of dark, man. You see things compound.
Yeah.
You see the weight as it pertains to our women,
Mhm.
of holding up our women,
Mhm.
loving on our women and encouraging them and showing them that they are not in this alone.
Yeah.
To see the hurt of no matter, and I've been encouraging my brothers,
Mhm.
be intentional, be very,
Teach the people, Nick.
yeah, about reaching out privately and publicly.
Yeah.
That and right now, just my black sisters,
Yes.
that they are loved by their black men,
That's
and
so good.
an attraction. It has nothing to do with a desire for something else. I just love you because you are you,
Yeah.
and let me uplift you because you are.
Mm.
And I see your strength. I was raised by nothing but strong, intelligent, capable women.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because of that, I am who I am. Now,
Facts.
I was blessed to have strong, capable men also. So we
Mhm.
have to lean one way or another.
Yeah.
I could have a duality, and there's strength in the duality of that. It's like
Mhm.
compromise to, so
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
not a and that, I think that's where I'm at right now. I just want to make sure that as a whole we are encouraging each other, we
Absolutely.
each other up. But I think that in this time it is very difficult just to encourage yourself,
Mhm.
just to kind of maintain yourself, because it is easy for you to have a moment, and
Yeah.
enough is enough.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody last night, and he was just saying, like, shoot, man, I get why people just give up.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're human, you know what I mean? And it's just like, how much of the same thing for generations are we gonna go through? How many more generations have to keep having these same conversations?
Right.
It gets heavy because with each generation, it's compounded.
Right.
So I get it, bro. Only the Lord is gonna be able to pull us through. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I know I've seen some pictures of you guys out there in the streets,
Yeah.
joining in on the protests and stuff like that. What
Because
has that experience been?
well, okay, so because I know B is gonna say something and Rick is gonna say something about it. So we met up earlier that day, period, because I was going through something.
Mhm.
I was just feeling really frustrated, and just with the whole situation, I was just like, "Hey, I really need to sit and talk." So we just met up at B's house, and we were sitting and talking, and they already talked about going to the rally. At that
Okay.
time, I wasn't gonna go to anything. I wasn't going to the rally. That wasn't the name of the game for me. Oh, I'm like,
B said he was gonna let you make it.
one of them was. So I'd rather say it myself.
You know they was gonna call you to the carpet. You already know.
So, so when we were at B's house, we were talking to another friend of ours in the UK,
Mm.
and we were going back and forth what's going on and what we're experiencing here. Him and his wife were on FaceTime or Instagram chat or something like that.
Mhm.
Back and forth, and we were having dialogue. And he is a white man with a black wife. So
Okay.
that dynamic in itself of how it impacts them, how it impacts.
Sure.
And we were just talking through that for a while. And I was like, see, this is great conversation. I'd rather have stuff like this. I don't need to go out there.
Mhm.
I'll go march in South Dallas.
Yeah.
Always in the South Side.
Right.
Right. And at first I was just like, I want to go marching through Highland Park. I want old
Mm.
enough neighborhoods. Let's throw
Yeah.
some
Where the action needs to be at. Yeah.
I need a reform. And so I decided to go out there. I was just like, but B gave some puppy dog eyes like, man, whatever. I said it. You said it right out. So I went ahead and went, and when we got there, we were in the street, 6 people from the community driving by, bunking their home.
Yeah.
And then you really process through all of the people that feel unheard, unappreciated, or those that don't look like.
Oh, I can't hear you anymore, bro.
Or can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So, or those that don't look like us, not seeing all of our value.
Yeah.
And them saying in solidarity, thank you for seeing us. So they might not have been a part of it. Community saw us fighting for us.
Yeah.
That was beautiful in itself, and it encouraged me way past what I thought.
Wow.
Hey. Okay. Thank you. There we go.
Well, hey, I'm not gonna hold you. I know Juneteenth is coming up.
Yeah.
Right, and on Juneteenth, every day, but especially on Juneteenth, we're gonna buy black. So tell the peoples, what your business is, how they can support it, and how we can find you out here in these streets, bro.
So I am the owner, proud owner of Smooth and Easy Garage Door Services in the DFW metropolitan area. You can always, if you have any garage door needs, do that. We have also started a company within the last week for my children throughout the summer. So they are doing pressure washing, driveways, sidewalks, and we're probably going to transition into houses probably within the next few weeks. So I had a friend of mine in Houston. He's an engineer for NASA, and him and his sons started a pressure washing company out in Houston called Sims and Sons. So if you're in the Houston area, please go and holler at them. But I decided to do that with me and my children too, because I want to teach them not only entrepreneurial things. I want to also make sure that they have a mindset of what it looks like to build.
That's dope.
You can build a company, you can build your community, you can build this nation, and you can build what people see you as.
Yeah, yeah.
We just need to have a mindset of building. So that's
good. You have a segment on holy culture right now too, right?
Yeah. We got
tell the people real quick, bro.
Yeah, what that walk like. You can find me on YouTube at Nick Crenshaw, Facebook at Nick Crenshaw Speaks, and Instagram at _ Nick Crenshaw. And we have a program called What That Walk Like. So we take all of the issues that we run into on a day-to-day basis and have honest conversation about it.
Love it.
From a biblical worldview, but at the same time, I and you operate in a flesh, and let's see how that we can subdue that flesh for the glory of God.
Oh, Jesus.
So
help us, Father.
Praise
Oh, my hands are heavy these days, Nick. My hands are heavy, son. You know what I'm Well, thank you so much, man, just for chiming in. I feel like so much you said, I really want to take time and unpack. We might circle back and just do another series of conversations, because I know you guys are full of good stuff to say. But stay safe out here in these streets. Stay encouraged. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with your little sis. I appreciate you.
I'll let you.
All right, bro.
Peace. Now, I don't know how to get off this thing, though. You have...
Just hit. There's a little end button up there. Stop. There you go. All right, next up, we got my boy B, Mr. Brandon Owens. He's going to chime in and just kind of share some of his perspective and what his life is looking like, and give us some insight from the black men's point of view. The question, if you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, this is the space to just say how you feel. How have all of these recent events been affecting you? How are you navigating life as a result of all that's going on? Next week, I'm going to be posting on my YouTube channel all of the conversations we had last week. where we were focusing on the ladies and just kind of centering Black women perspectives and things that concern us specifically. But this week is for the fellas. I got Brandon. Hang on, y'all. There you go. Look at that hang time.
What's going on? You know, got a little something going on over
here. What's up, bro?
Whoo, sis.
Yeah, man.
What is going on? I saw a meme. Somebody said the first half of 2020 got hands. You go there like
punking all of us.
Man,
like
you hear me slapping around, man, making us look real weak right now.
That is accurate. That is accurate.
Yeah.
So I think that this is going to give us maybe about an hour total.
Okay.
So I just kind of want to jump in and like ask some of those same questions to you, just in general. How have the recent events affected you mentally and emotionally?
I'm gonna just be 100%
blank. That's all I need.
I'm really having to pray.
Yeah.
To remember that I'm kingdom first.
Ooh.
And that I'm of God first before I'm even Black. So having that realization, it definitely keeps me from saying a lot of the things that I want to say. I'm thinking it, but it's definitely keeping me from saying a lot of the things that I want to say. And it's just putting me more in an area of educating myself about our past. That's also leading up to our future, and then not only that, but making sure that I'm passing along that, what I'm learning. So if anybody's been paying attention to any of my social media lately, it's been heavy on, hey, watch this link. Hey, did you know about this? Did you know about Rosewood? Did you know about? Of course, we all pretty much know about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Did you know about the Elaine massacre? Like, did did you know about this stuff? Because these are things that are missing from our history books,
right?
Intentionally. We grew up in school learning how important and brave George Washington was. We always see that famous painting of him at the front of the boat, leading the way.
Yeah.
But nobody ever, or who's the Black man down there, rowing the boat? So many of our contributions are missing from history, and it's a shame that we are having to do the work ourselves to educate ourselves on our history, because it's, you leave it up to whatever power that be. If you leave it up to them, we definitely, our history began with slavery. And we just know that's not true. So right now, I've been praying a lot about, like, Lord God, like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? That's been my prayer here lately. What do you want me to do? And so going out to protest and just, educating, our community on things of the past, and just not only just educating us, but also educating our counterparts that what we're seeing isn't anything new. Like, I'm glad that you guys are finally seeing it. Whatever it took for you to finally see it, I'm grateful in the sense that your eyes are open. I'm hurt because it took another life to be lost for you to see it. But nevertheless, we have to trust, and we stand on the fact that God is sovereign. And something that my mentor Robert Triggs told me that has always stuck with me ever since he said it. He told me God never wastes a hurt. So with that being said, even though we're hurting right now, it's all for a reason. He has a plan in mind for it. We don't understand it. We don't get it. We question, why does this continually happen to us? But we got to trust God. And like I said, for me, it's been a struggle. Honestly, it's been a struggle to remember, Brandon, you're kingdom before you're Black. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I said in prayer, like, Lord, I understand that I'm kingdom before I'm a black man. However, you still chose for me to be in this skin.
Mhm.
So I have a responsibility. So at this point, I'm just trying to move forward with what I feel like he's laid on my heart to do. But it's been tough, sis. It's been tough.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
last
That's
night
real
was
talk.
was hard. It's been really hard. So
Yeah.
and it's also kind of like hard to detach from social media because, like I said, I just kind of feel this responsibility to teach and educate. So, I can only pull myself off of social media for so long, but I got to go back to it because I gotta study. I gotta learn myself, and I gotta share it with other people. But I'm also understanding that, like, teaching is a gift that he's given me
Yeah.
anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I'm just trying to run with it.
Man, it's something to be said about the sanctification process of black Christians,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Like, we have a very unique
Yeah,
sanctification process,
we do.
to believe God in the midst of oppression, psychological oppression, emotional oppression, physical, financial, every way you can be oppressed, pretty much.
Yes. Yes.
And to choose every day it's a daily choice to pick up that cross. That is our cross, right?
Hmm.
To pick up that
Hmm.
cross and keep following Christ in spite of um, all of the hurtful and disappointing things that could come sometimes at the hand of those that are supposed to be your brothers and sisters. It's a unique process. And for me, one of the things that I try to hold on to is that Romans 8:18 feel, where it's like these momentary afflictions, like
Mm.
they don't compare to
Yeah.
what we will become. And I'm like, dang, what we gonna be like?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes even with that and all the scriptures, it's still just hard.
It is. It
You
is.
know?
But it's like, I mean, that really is like and this gonna sound really like churchy or whatever. But that really is like the dope thing about Jesus because he spans like every, from riches to poverty to
Yeah.
oppression to
Yeah.
rebelling, if you want to say,
Mhm.
cover. Jesus flipped tables, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he stood up for the weak. He stood up for those
Right.
that didn't have a voice, and there's no way that you can say that you're a believer, that you're a Christian, that you're a follower of Christ, that you're a disciple, and be
Mhm.
silent.
Mhm.
So if you call yourself a disciple, if you call yourself a believer, if you call yourself a Christian, and you're choosing to be silent on these issues, you need to check yourself.
Facts.
You really need to check yourself because somewhere in there, you're valuing your, how you may be viewed versus how God is viewing you, or maybe even like challenging you and calling you to step
Mm.
up. But this is a unique situation where, you know, I don't think we've ever seen so many people come together like
Yeah.
this. All over the world, people are saying like, "Hey, look now." Something about George Floyd's death resonated with everybody.
Mhm.
Um, it resonated with everybody, and even if it was just him crying out for his mother,
Yeah.
because we've all done that.
Mhm.
If that was the thing that did it maybe in some people's eyes, black men haven't been seen as humane, but maybe that was the
Mm.
thing that kind of triggered and hit somebody that was like, hold on, that's a human being right there,
Yeah.
because we still get called animals, we still get called
Absolutely.
thugs, while other people get called, just a rowdy bunch.
Misguided. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Troubled.
So yeah,
Yeah.
oh, they
Yeah.
just doing what kids do,
Mhm.
so it's something. So it's I think it's just really just kind of like, for me, it's kind of like lit a fire in me in regards to um I don't know. I think just making my voice heard and speaking out and not being willing to be so quiet.
Yeah.
God is definitely like he's lit something in me, and it's like I got to keep going, and I don't know where it's gonna take me, but
hmm
at this point I'm just willing to do whatever I feel like he's leading me to do. So
Well, that's what's up, bro. I
yeah.
just encourage you to keep going, keep running, because here's what I know: every black man, every black woman, every black person um, has a story that needs to be told, has an experience that needs to be
hmm
shared, because from their experience are teachable moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so who knows how God is going to use all the different things that you're learning and experiences that you're having and emotions that you're feeling, but it's needed. You
hmm
know what I'm saying? And
hmm
it's part of us, being chiseled into his image, man. And so like I feel like as believers, as black believers, it's important for us to champion one another, because it's something that God is saying through our journeys, individually and collectively.
Yeah.
Like there's a way that he's going to get glorified from us struggling and striving, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
as we do every day, man. So
Right.
I just want you to be encouraged, bro. Like I know Nick mentioned you guys were out at the rallies. How did that hit you? How did that impact you?
Like I said, I think for me it was just a point of seeing. I'll say two things. One, it was just great to see, like I said, so many different ethnicities coming together,
Mhm.
um, to stand up, in solidarity, and just say, hey, enough is enough. Understanding that we need reform. People are getting educated on systematic racism,
Mhm.
and you know it's just unfortunate because police officers aren't being looked up to like we looked up to them as kids. They were on the same line as superheroes, and now they're being viewed as murderers. But of
Yeah.
course, we understand it's not all of them. But
Sure.
it was beautiful to see so many people together, and making their voices heard. And then the flip side to that is I hate that in one hand I was wondering, like, are people just out here just to say that they were out here doing something? Because
Mm.
you can hold up a sign that says Black Lives Matter, but you can walk right past somebody black and not even speak, you
Right.
know? So, it just made me kind of like see both dynamics of, yeah, this is beautiful, but even in the midst of this, like it's still some work to do. But
Mhm.
it reminded me of what Paul said, like, whether somebody's preaching the gospel, as it is and it's truth, or whether they're doing it
Yeah.
for their own personal gain, is being preached.
That's
And
real
I
talk,
kind of
bro.
just, yeah, I've had to take it from that standpoint of like, regardless of how it may kind of look on the inside to the masses, to
Mhm.
the public, they see, they see humanity, they see people coming together for change
Mhm.
that's needed. So, I try not to question people's motives too much.
Sure.
you
Yeah. Yeah. All you can do is use
know.
discernment and watch, right? Because time will
That's
tell
it.
you.
That's it.
Well,
That's
I'll
it.
ask you the same thing, bro.
hmm
On Juneteenth, it's coming up. We buying black on Juneteenth.
Hey.
So tell the people what products you have to offer and where
hmm
they can find you.
Yeah. Good Tree Clothing. I'm actually wearing one of the our social distance club shirts, and has a lot of like just different graphics and information on the back, just in regards to like COVID-19. Washing your hands, wearing a mask, social distancing, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, goodtreeclothing.com. It's a faith-based streetwear brand. Been doing it for really about 8 years.
Mhm.
But here, probably within the past like year and a half, 2 years, it's kind of been a resurgence of it, kind of like change the look and change the approach a little bit.
Mhm.
So God has really been blessing, man. Like ever since COVID's happened, like my sales have definitely increased. So,
Won't he do it?
hey, look, you at home in front of on your phone in front of your laptop, what else you gonna do? You might as well go to the
Right.
website, get some
Get your gear
t-shirts, some
up.
hoodies, some, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Go ahead and get something for the family. Jackets, duffel bags, we got it all. So
That's what's
it's been
up.
good. But yeah, goodtreeclothing.com. And I've just been, careful to make sure that my dollar is circulating in our community. So I think this is just a great time for Black businesses,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs
Yeah.
to get started because, I think people are honestly starting to see like how powerful our money is, our dollar
Mhm.
is. And, you know, even though Black Wall Street may not exist in a physical form here and here, it can be alive and well. So we,
Absolutely.
we need to make sure that we're taking a point to support our own, and don't be so quick to write a bad review or put somebody on blast after the first time, man. Give them folks a chance.
Yeah, that's real
Try something
talk.
else. Order something else. But yeah, it's like it's a beautiful time for us, and it's also an ugly time.
Yeah.
Um, but I think God tends to work that way. Like He allows chaos to happen. Ultimately, I think to bring us closer together
Mhm.
as a people, and then us, draw us closer to Him too. So, it's a unique time, man. This gonna be in the history books.
I agree.
You know,
I agree, man.
yeah.
So you got a couple bros in here like, okay, so tell us about the six
Oh,
brands. Gone and
so
gone and, plug that
yeah,
real
for
quick.
sure, for sure. So 6 brands, is comprised of it's a group of us, myself, Nick, Rick, EMAC, Big Rod, and Rock. We call them Rock Solid. Everyone has their own business. So of course, like I said, myself, I have Good Tree Clothing. Nick has Smooth and Easy Garage Door
Mhm.
Services. Rick has Perfected Clothing.
Mhm.
Um, so then you have Rod, who has a nonprofit called Love You to Life. And then you have EMAC, who has actually a hat brand called Cranium Crown. And then
Mhm.
he and I have also partnered up with a production team called Tough Tunes.
Mhm.
And then those three, which is Mac, Rod, and Rock, they have their own cigar brand called Hawk McSailor. So anyone out there that enjoys a nice cigar, man, hawkmcsailor.com. Excellent, excellent, excellent brand to try out if it's gonna be your first time to have some flavored cigars. So, we're all Black men keeping each other uplifted, motivated. We push each other. We love on each other. Man, like, as Nick spoke earlier, about having that core. We have our core, and then you always have that tight knit. So
Mhm.
those are my guys. Outside of my little brother and family members, like those are my guys. So yeah, that's
That's
where
what's
Six
up.
Brand comes from. Yep.
That's what's up. Well, man,
Yeah,
keep doing your thing, bro. You already know I'm
will do.
behind you 100%.
And
You
you,
already
and
know
you
what it
already you already
is.
know we got your back. All you gotta do, look, you just throw the bat signal out there, and we
Sneeze
gonna swoop
wrong.
in. Look.
I appreciate it. I
All
appreciate it.
right.
You guys model that well. But I'm going to let Rick jump on here. Be encouraged, bro.
Oh
Just know
Lord.
I'm praying for y'all. I know, child. Pray for him.
Yeah, for real. Right now. Right now.
Everybody
Touch.
stretch your
I just want
hand.
everybody to stretch your hand for
Right.
Rick about to come on here, and you just never know what you're gonna get from Don Rick DeMarco. Y'all just be praying right now for it.
That's funny. Well, I'll
Yeah,
catch
no
up with
problem.
you soon, bro. Thanks
All
for
right.
stopping by and hanging out with me for a little
No
bit.
problem. Proud of you, sis.
Appreciate it.
Later.
All right.